Hi, all my Aries. I want to tell you guys, well, first off, love you guys and thank you guys for coming in and checking out these videos. This is the homework family reading for all Aries signs. Now, some of you haven't been with me, and I'm going through the spew with every sign, at least this first time around. Because if you check out the bottom of the screen down there, you can see a little banner that's going across. And that helps you to understand how to follow these readings. And the reason why I explain that is because when I, as an astrologer, start getting into the astrology, the way my guides tell me is first and foremost, for any human being at any given time, typically there's really 5 charts going at one time. But it's kind of impossible, especially when I'm doing a universal reading for, even if it's just for Aries, the sign, to get into all 5 of those charts. Now, with that being said, I'm helping you to understand how to follow this reading because of with those 5 different charts that are running, this is speaking to your sun, your moon, your rising, to the universal, as well as at the moment and how it is universally moving through this moment. So if you are a sun, Aries, I'm talking about your core, the very compass of who and what you are, getting to that core energy. But this is also the universal first house for you, which is the universal first house. But for Aries signs, you guys feel this energy way more powerfully than the rest of the signs do, because it is actually your first house as well as the universal. Now, if you are a moon Aries, I'm telling you to look and view what I'm about to tell you in these readings from an understanding of from a moon point of view. So I'm talking to you about your emotional state of mind, as well as what that emotional state of mind is doing to the physical body. And with that understanding, view it from that perspective. If you are a rising Aries, then what I'm getting at is more of your 3-dimensional reality, as well as your physical reality, what you can feel, see, touch. That has a lot to do with how you manifest, because that's part of what you believe. It's part of what you see and what you know. So therefore, in the physical, when it connects with the brain, this is literally connecting on the level of where your manifestation and your vibrational frequency are. And it helps you to understand how to view this from all 3 points of view. So if you are a sun Aries, you may want to go back and check out your moon sign or your rising sign video, because you may find certain aspects of these videos will help you in certain different aspects of your life, so you can understand parts of those 5 charts that are running all at one time. Now, with that being said, Aries, you guys are going through some major transformational healing. You've been going through it for a while, but it's really getting deeper. You're really getting deeper into, I don't even want to say past lives. I'm just saying you're getting, I call it the 12th, it's 12th house energy, but it's not. And the reason why is you still have Chiron in your first house. Chiron is the wounded healer. In the first house, this is trying to close cycles. It is trying to close cycles, understand them, let the dead be to the dead, healed, so that you can move on to a new cycle. So the living is with the living. It's really coming into areas with 12th house kind of feel, but yet Scorpio feel. That's kind of a weird part about how Chiron energy is, because Chiron is the wounded healer and is capable of seeing the healing that needs to happen pretty much to everybody but himself. All right. That's why he's the wounded healer. He's able to bring healing to everybody but himself. And this is going, where is the wounds that are so much in denial that you're not healing? Now, Chiron's still going to be here for a while. But the reason I'm saying it's not identity crisis necessarily as much as it's coming into authenticity and identity truth. But in order to sift through that funky junk of that healing, you really have to face some parts of yourself that are in an uncomfortable place. And the reason I'm saying that is because Jupiter has now moved into your universal 12th house. Well, the universal 12th house, but your personal 12th house. Jupiter is the higher knowledge, the higher abundance. But Jupiter is also manifestation, and anything it touches, it brings abundance and manifestation too. But just like any planet, just like magic, they say, there's no right or wrong. There is no positive or negative about the magic and the way it is created. What makes it right or wrong is the person actually doing the magic. And where is their free will and where is their mind going with what it is that they are creating? Are they creating from an illness, or are they creating from an ego, or are they creating from a healthy source energy? And you are kind of walking through, well, what is your ego and what is your source energy, and where are we finding this? The 12th house, which is where Jupiter is, can be positive and bring the most abundance and healing to you. Jupiter is going to be here all year. All right. So you're just kind of like beginning this with Jupiter. Jupiter can also bring you so much fabulous good luck, but he's only going to be bringing it to you if you're actually doing the healing because it's in your 12th house. Pisces energy is very loving, very creative, very mischievous at the same time. It's very mystery, long story short. And Pisces wants to believe the good in everything, but Pisces can easily be duped and mistaken. Pisces people are the people who will bring home the stray dog. And sometimes that's a wonderful thing. You're bringing help and love to something that needs it. But also, are you bringing home the stray dog that will rob you blind? This is part of what we're looking at. Neptune is here in this 12th house. So he's bringing even more magic from the soul. And where are you instructing your soul connection to be? Are you truly connecting to the soul and the healing of what you are still carrying here in the vibration of this here and now? Or are you truly connecting to the everlasting truth of who and what you are? And I say it that way because I want you to understand this is kind of like a funky bunch of marinating energy from the 12th house to the first house. The 12th house is your grief, sorrow, shame, blame, your insecurities, the skeletons in the closet. But it's also another way of viewing it. It's also all of the dirt you sweep under the rug. Now, just because you swept it under the rug doesn't mean it's really clean. Just means you can't see it. But it is still there. So this is what we're looking at. Your grief, sorrow, shame, blame, the insecurities that you'd prefer not to know about. You'd prefer to ignore. And what about the ignoring is not serving you because it's actually not bringing you the healing you need? But then when we put this energy into the first house, because we have Chiron here, which kind of is creating a similar but funky energy. Like I said, with that Scorpio kind of energy, life, death, rebirth, transformation. Is it happening? The first house, which is by Aries, is all about brand new beginnings. It's all about a beginning point, a starting point. But let's face it, Aries, you guys are really great at coming up with this brilliant idea. Oh, I like this, and I want to do this, and we're going to do it this way, and we're going to do it this way, and we're going to do it. Wait a minute. This is starting to get difficult, and it didn't happen as quick as I want. So, you know what? We're going to do this. Aries, you guys are going to have to stick to it. You're going to stick to your guns here. You can't just free willy-nilly. Another way of understanding Aries is Aries is the original alpha, but an alpha can't remain an alpha unless he fights to keep that alpha status. And this means you have to stand firm. You can't just free willy nilly. And when you get excited by something, I like to call it squirrel syndrome. Like, we're in the middle of this, and I'm talking to you about this and this and this and this, and we're doing this, and everything's great, but little squirrel. And now you're all of a sudden in this direction. You have to stay focused on what is important. New beginnings, new cycles, new healing, new life, new direction. Where is it you want it to go? And are you acknowledging from your old self, and anything that happened yesterday and prior is your old self? So anything that was old patterns that you coveted but aren't really doing you any good, you've coveted them because they've been comfort zones. But the comfort zone has actually kept you from growing. Are you bringing that into your now? Are you bringing that into who you are now, into the character and the personality that you are trying to grow into and become? Where are you taking your identification? Where are you taking your vibration? Where are you taking your now? Chiron, the wounded healer, is saying you're having problems letting go of some of that you've coveted because it's become the comfort zone. But like I said, the comfort zone only keeps the dirt under the rug. It doesn't actually clean under the rug. So with Jupiter here and with Chiron here, you are definitely going through, let me find out who my true authentic self is. Let me do some serious soul discovery. And we're going to be acknowledging this all year. Now, that's not going to go away. But right now in January, you're actually walking through your 10th house. Now, the 10th house is a freaking loaded house right now. And it's Capricorn energy. Capricorn is the political arena. It is the outer world. It is our career zone. It is our honor, our reputation. It is our financial ability for that success because of our reputation, how we are seen because of what we do out there. It is also the authority of the outer world, and what authority do you allow it to have over you? Capricorn is also known as the boss. For you, we're talking about that outer world. But up until the 21st, it has the sun still in it. So you're technically still walking through that outer world until the 21st, at the very least. And then the sun moves into Aquarius. You still have Pluto here in Capricorn, as well as you have Venus, which is in retrograde up until the 29th. Venus is not love. I hate it when astrologers call Venus love because she's not. She teaches you how to like and notice what your sensitivity is telling you, your intuition is telling you, your gut feeling is telling you. She teaches you how to make it work for you, as well as how to understand when it's not working for you at all. Venus will tell you what you love and why you love it and why you want more of it. But Venus will also tell you when it has lied to you, when it has betrayed you, when it has harmed you, and how it has done it, and how it hurt, and why you don't want any more of it. Venus teaches you what to value and what to not allow to continue. All right. She's talking to you about what you allow, as well as what you enjoy, what makes you feel good about the outer world. Where do you want your outer world to be? Is the outer world the boss over you? Or are you still the boss over you while in the outer world? She is teaching you about what the outer world is showing you, how to reapply it, redirect it so it's working for you. versus where that outer world is trying to push you around and manipulate you. Now, you also have Juno here. Juno is the one I would truly call love. Venus is, I like to call Venus like the teenager love, like the puppy love, the ooey gooey, soft and chewy, we just met and yay. But then as I get to know you, I'm kind of over you. Juno is the wife of Jupiter. She is sacrificing commitment. She is the commitment that it's going to take to make it last. And when it's important to you, is it such a sacrifice to do what is actually important to you? It's just getting out of our fear zone and trying something new. You also have Vista here moving in. And this is the soul fire asking you to go after the soul fire of your outer world. Mars at the end of the month of the 24th is going to enter this energy, bringing a complete more balance to it, because it'll be coming in just a few days, truthfully, before Venus goes direct. Okay? So it'll be bringing that masculine and feminine balance and understanding, like a wash free, clear, and then redirecting from that energy. But here's your other kicker. You have Mercury, which is about to go retrograde on the 14th. And Mercury is in your 11th house. Now, this plays on your 10th house in major ways if you know how to look for it and view it. Because everybody is always saying how when Mercury goes retrograde, somebody's returning. Retrogrades are not necessarily meant when somebody returns for you to keep. They returned for you to see if you're learning the lesson, or does the lesson need to be taught again? Now, I'm not saying that it's not always for you to keep. Sometimes you just had to do some corrections. But I wouldn't go for it in that idea necessarily, at least not until it lasts after Mercury retrograde. And the reason I'm explaining this is because this isn't just like girlfriend, boyfriends. This is the outer community. This is, in a form, your people, places, and things. It is your outer community, your memberships, your groups of your outer world. Somewhat like your friends versus your work friends. Outer community, outer world. And is that outer community, is that outer world, outer membership, is it helping you find the authority within you so that you can actually create the goals, dreams, and ambitions that you desire to see brought into fruition? Or is that outer community, outer group, membership, is it actually trying to manipulate you and take from that because it's trying to control you and want you to do its thing? There should be a give and take here. But Mercury, which is going retrograde on the 14th, and up until the 14th is in shadow, looking at the darker aspects of things. This communication is going to be asking you, are you allowing that outer world to manipulate you? Are you standing in your power? Are you truthfully going after the goals, the dreams, the ambitions that you want? Or are you serving others, but not serving yourself at all? And the communication and how it's being communicated. But when we're in Mercury retrograde, we tend to get more self-centered. And in a form, this is one of those times where being self-centered is a little bit good, because it's trying to make sure that you're going after your dreams and that you're not getting told you can't do them. But remember, we also look things a little bit dark from time to time. We get a little self-centered from time to time. So you want to make sure there is a give and take here. It's not just all me on either side. It needs to be a give and take. Finding out if there's truly a balance here. Because in order to keep people in your life, you also want to love them right. You also want to support them. So this is why I said it's got to be a give and take. But halfway through, on the 25th, Mercury will retrograde back into Capricorn, which is your 10th house again. This is why I said it's important. It's going back into the authority of the outer world. It's going to start out with the groups and the memberships. So this is not one of those times that you are the sheep. You do not just follow the line. You do not just follow the flock. You do not just follow the crowd. And you guys aren't not necessarily ones who do. But this is not one time that you want to just go with the flow and follow what everybody else is trying to instruct you to do, because that will not work out for you once Mercury goes direct again, if you did. Because it will come right back into the 11th house going, well, what happened to your goals, dreams, and ambitions? Well, this is why. And then you have to backbuild and start all over again. So I'm helping you to understand. Now, you have Uranus in your second house. But Uranus is not alone in your second house anymore. You now have the North Node moving in. So this is everything you need to learn in order to move forward for the year, not just for January. The North Node is everything you need to learn. The second house is your self-worth, your self-value, your self-esteem. It is your manifestation. It is how you create and spend your money. It brings to you your vibration according to that outer world and how you feel about yourself. Well, Uranus here is asking you, do you feel independent? Are you able to create and show your individuality? Are you comfortable with bringing that out? Are you free? Do you feel freedom to be yourself and safe and secure within who and what you are? Because if not, then that's not building and strengthening liberation. It's strengthening possession. And what I mean by that is the second house is also responsible for all of the small possessions that we are responsible for, such as like my little wand here that I'm using. It makes me feel better when I'm doing readings. If I can just rub it around here in my hands, it helps me feel like I'm connected and grounded. So it gives me a place to focus while my mind's thinking at everything else. For other people, you know, those small possessions would be your glasses, certain clothing, your cell phones, the things that make you feel better about you, that help you to be you. Well, when you don't feel good about you and you feel backed into the corner, that's because ultimately you've been manipulated and ultimately somebody else is possessing the power over you. Just calling the shots like I see it, guys. So this is asking you, again, is the outer world or somebody else the boss over you? Or are you learning how to be in your power inside and out? And are you being able to have that free will, freedom of expression, freedom of exploration, freedom of comfort to believe in yourself, liberation, which then brings your manifestation. The North Node is saying if you don't learn this, I promise you, you won't have a chance to learn it for another 18 years, because it takes like 18 months for it to go through the sign. Then it's going to go through all 12 houses, a little over a year for every all 12 signs. He can't teach you this lesson again. Well, the South Node is now moved into Scorpio. Scorpio is the 8th house, people. It is not just the death card in tarot, which is birth, death, rebirth, or reincarnation. And it's not the end of one cycle and just the beginning of another, but it's the rules and the boundaries it takes to make that cycle actually come to an end. Setting the sacrifice and commitment it takes to actually begin anew. And the South Node here in the eighth house is saying, I'm really good at these things, but these things don't do anything really good for me. So, what in these relationship zones do you keep having the same bad pattern happen to you that you aren't learning? Because this year is going to be viewing that. Now, your full moon is taking place on the 17th, and it is going to be in your fourth house, your inner emotional security, the roots of who and what you are, what's created you to be exactly who and what you are right now in this world. And where is it healed, or where does it need to heal? And it's going to be in opposition of that outer world and the authority that also speaks to your honor, your reputation, your finances, your social foundation. So you're really looking at the platform of setting anew. And does it need to shift? Do cords need to be cut? Are you coming into your power? Are you figuring out who you are? Are you walking the path? Because only you, my love, know if you have some work to do. I will see you guys next month. Bye.